made it through. We're going on a plane. Sad news, we were very excited to get to the airport, have an airport beer and have some Maccas, but the bar's closed and Maccas is closed. So what's the point? Okay, great news. We found a cafe that has airport beers. 4 beers for $33, which like by airport standards is not that bad. Can't come to the airport after so long not being able to travel and not have an airport beer. Yes, it is 7:55 in the morning, but whatever. It's 3 AM in Thailand, so it's bacon and egg McMuffins when you can get a $14 toasty. Okay, one thing about flying post-COVID is that it's really not as easy as it used to be. Like you used to just rock up with your passport and check in and be like, okay, cool, let's go. But oh my gosh, we needed to travel. Let me show you. We needed negative COVID test. Another page of the negative COVID test. Proof that we're staying in a hotel that's certified as like healthy. A receipt for a COVID test once we get to Thailand. A QR code that says that we can get into Thailand. An international vaccination certificate. $50,000 worth of COVID insurance. It's a lot. Thailand is one of the easier places to travel to for Australians. It's not as easy as Singapore, which is an actual travel bubble, but with Thailand you just go, you can spend 1 day in hotel quarantine. You just got to get a test when you get there. Once it's negative, you're free to go off and do whatever you want, so long as you're double vaxxed. So we were like, all right, let's go. And now we're going. Definitely have to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to leave the country and enter another country. It's not hard, it just takes some time and a lot of like sitting on the computer like typing in details, which is boring, but like it's definitely worth it. Thank you. So we had a bet about how full this flight would be. I thought it would be 75% full. 4 hours. Ant thought it would be 50% full.
I think it's about 20.
It's empty. I thought that because we were going to Singapore, everyone would be going to Singapore, but apparently not. Okay, not gonna lie, it does feel kind of surreal to sit here and say I am in Thailand. Like after Australian borders being closed for 2 years, it's so cool to be able to get out of the country. I think I'm just gonna share a little bit about the experience, just in case anyone out there is also thinking of traveling anytime soon. Here's what we did and what we found to be really helpful. To leave Australia and to enter Thailand, we needed international vaccine certificate, which you can get through the Medicare app. Then you need to book 2 COVID tests. You need one 48 hours before you fly, and it has to be a privately booked one. You need to go to a proper private pathology clinic and you pay $100. They do your test, and then within like 6 hours we got the negative results, sent us a link, download a PDF, print it out, and you got to take that to the airport. Then you also need to do a COVID test on arrival in Thailand. They've actually got it set up at the airport. It's a pretty cool setup. Like you land, you get your bags, and just as you're walking out, they have these like mobile huts. They almost look like food trucks, and there's people in it like behind perspex glass, and they've got like gloves coming out, like you know in The Simpsons, the gloves that Homer has to like hold the plutonium. They've got gloves coming out and they use that to like give you a little COVID test. Anyway, then you have to download an app and they send the results to you. It takes about 8 hours or so, and from the airport you have to go straight to your hotel. It has to be a hotel that's been certified as SHA+, which means that they, you know, clean with certain products and they're trustworthy, I guess. And we're not allowed to leave our room until we get that negative test back, but then once we get it back, we're free to go. You also need to get a Thailand pass, which is a QR code to be able to enter Thailand. So a week before we left, we had to send through information about our vaccine status, proof that we've booked a COVID test, proof that we have insurance, and like passport scans and stuff like that. You send it all through online, and then like a day later we got an email with the Thailand pass. Print that out or have it on your phone, and then they just scan it when you get to the airport. We also needed to get COVID insurance, and it was so annoying because hardly any Australian companies cover COVID. So we had to get insurance through a Thai company. I can't remember the name, but it was tied to AirAsia. Honestly though, all of this could probably change. I think they're gonna change some of the rules on December 1st, just depending on COVID numbers and how many people are coming in and out. Because honestly, when we booked in October, you had to do 1 week at an SHA hotel. So we booked a whole week at this amazing hotel, and now we're like, oh, we don't even need to be staying here. But like, it's an amazing hotel, so I'm kind of happy that we're here. The thing I'll say is that you got to make sure you have every single thing that you needed printed out and have it handy, because once you get to the airport in Sydney, we had to show it to someone and they had to go through and check off every single thing that we had. Then when you check in, they have to check through everything there again, and then once we got through the gate, it was totally fine. Like the checking in process took half an hour, and then security, there was no one there. It took like 10 seconds. We stopped over in Singapore, which was a very smooth process. I thought that we would have to like big like quarantine there, or be like shuttled off into some separate area, or have to go through all the paperwork again, but no, we just got off the flight, went to the gate for where our next flight was, waited there for 2 hours, got on. When we got to Thailand, it was the same process where we had to show everything, but it was so much better organized. It helped that there weren't many people on our flight. Basically, we just had to go in, sit down, they come up, they check that you've got all your paperwork, they send you to another lady who like goes through everything and gives you like a little sticker saying, yep, you're good to go. Then you go through immigration, you go get your bags, then you got to show your papers all over again, then you get your COVID test through the little glass thingy, and then you get picked up straight. You're not allowed to just like go out and roam free. You have to get an airport transfer, and you get picked up by a hotel who brought us to our room. The check-in was done in the room, so we didn't have any like contact with anybody else. But yeah, it was actually pretty smooth sailing, as long as you've got everything you need fully printed out and ready. Like we got to the airport and we were handing over our stuff, and there was some lady next to us who didn't know that you had to be double vaccinated, and she didn't have a vaccine certificate. And it's like, just read through everything and you'll be fine. It was a lot of paperwork. It was a lot of sending emails back and forth, finding the right insurance, finding the right hotel, finding where I could pre-book the COVID test, finding where in Sydney I can get the COVID test, going to get the COVID test, waiting around for the result, figuring out how to get the Thailand pass, uploading everything, making sure it's in a PDF and not in a JPEG, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I'm in Thailand now. I'm here with my boyfriend Ant. We are going to be traveling for, not really sure yet, probably 2 months in Thailand, and then maybe a month or two somewhere else in Southeast Asia. It just depends what borders are open and where we end up. We're just going to be hanging out. So at the moment we're in Phuket. We've got 2 weeks here. Then we are going to go to a couple of islands. It's my 30th birthday next month, so I want to do something awesome for that. But yeah, if you want to follow along with what we're doing, if you want to get some travel advice, if you want to get some tips, press that little subscribe button, and yeah, we'll be making a lot more videos. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.